right, today we're going to begin chapter 6, linear equations and their graphs. In this chapter, we're going to talk a lot about slope, graphing equations, and different ways to write those equations. Right, so today we learned a little bit about what slope is, and we learned about that word rate of change. And rate of change basically means the same thing as slope, where it is a rise over a run, or you could also write it as a y over x, or you could also say it is the same as dependent variable over an independent variable. All right, and we also learned what that slope formula looks like, and it looks like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so this is a great formula. This is what you need to, one of the things you need to memorize in this chapter and for many, many math classes to come. Okay, so today what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be building on this idea of what slope is, and we're actually going to talk about a specific way of writing linear equations. And that way is the slope-intercept form. You have often heard me sing the YMCA song to the slope-intercept form, and I know most of you talked about it, learned it last year or saw it earlier this year. So what does y equal? X plus b. All right, so it's right there. So m is going to represent our slope in this particular equation, and b is going to represent our y-intercept, or the area where the line is going to go over the y-axis. It's right there. All right. So from here, we can actually find out a lot of information from this one equation, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we can actually do a couple things here. So I have find the slope and the y-intercept of the following. So here I have y equals negative 3x plus 5. So m, or my slope, is going to be negative 3. Notice I take the sign that is in front of whatever I'm working on. All right, and then my b is going to, or my y-intercept, I'm just going to write y-int, is going to be 5. All right, not sure what happened here. My graph has gotten a little funky. We're not going to worry about that, right? Well, actually we are. All right, so making decisions in my head right now. All right, so we actually have this graph right here, and I'm sorry that this is in the way, but I'm just going to explain what's going on here. So in this particular problem, we have negative 2x minus 5y equals 10. Now, that doesn't look like my nice y equals mx plus b form. So what we need to do is we need to actually put it in this form. So I'm going to say, all right, well, I need to solve this for y. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move my 2x over to this side. And I'm going to add it because it is a negative number. And so we need to do the opposite. We need to add it. So now my new equation, I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to have negative 5y. Don't forget about the sign in front. This one right here. It's very important. Equals 2x plus 10. From here, I need to get rid of my -5, so I'm going to divide -5 to both sides of my equal sign or my equation, and I need to do it twice on this side. I need to do it on this once here and once here. It's very important you apply it to everything on this side of the equation. So my -5's go away, and I am left with y equals -2/5 x minus 10 divided by -5 is 2. So my slope in this case, or my m, is -2/5, and my y-intercept, or my b, is -2. All right. So next example, we have write the equation of a line whose slope is 3/4 and the y-intercept is 0. All right, so we have our y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to plug my information in here. I have y equals my m, or my slope, which is 3/4, x plus 0. Now, I don't really need to have that plus 0 on there because it doesn't, if there's nothing there, then we can assume that the y-intercept is 0. So I'm going to rewrite it as y equals 3/4 x. All right. So the last example we're going to do today, and I'm going to start this example and you're going to have to finish it, is it says write the slope-intercept form of the equation graphed below. Well, we know right away that we're going to need two things in this in order to do this. We need to know my slope and we need to know my y-intercept. Well, my y-intercept is a little easier than my slope in this particular problem because I can just visually look at where my line goes over the y-axis, and that is at 1, 2, 3. So I know my equation's going to look something like this. The only thing that's missing here is my slope. Now, today you learned how to find the slope between 2 points. We have our 2 points right here, so you need to count. We have 1, 2, 3, 0, and 1 and 0, 1, 2, 3. So there you go, I just gave you the 2 points. Find the slope between those 2 points and add it into our slope-intercept equation. And I will look for that answer in your WISC tomorrow. All right, please come to class with any questions you have about slope-intercept form, and I will address them then. Also, be prepared to work extensively on this. We're going to go through this pretty rapidly so we can, because I know it is a review for many of you. You've all seen this before. All right, thanks guys.